One day, as Joseph looked over a group of people appearing before him to ask for grain, his heart suddenly pounded and his hands shook. His brothers! What should he do? To himself he said, "Are they sorry for what they did to me? Are they now treating Benjamin the way they used to treat me? Why isn't Benjamin with them?" Joseph's brothers did not recognize this man called Zaphenath-Paneah as their brother. They bowed deeply. Joseph, looking down on them, suddenly remembered his dreams of grain and stars bowing to him. He struggled to keep his face from showing his feelings. In a harsh voice, he asked in the Egyptian language, "Where do you come from?" "We have come from the land of Canaan to buy food." "You are spies," he said with a frown. Judah's face went white. The penalty for spying was slavery or death. "No, my master, we come as your servants to buy food." Joseph leaned forward, eager to learn more, but fearful of what he might learn. "No, you have come to learn where this nation is weak." "No, sir," the brothers protested. "We are 10 of 12 brothers. We live in the land of Canaan. Our youngest brother is there with our father right now. Our older brother is gone." His father was still alive? He couldn't believe it. "Guard, throw these men in prison." After 3 days, the brothers were released from prison and standing once more before the dreaded prime minister. "I am a God-fearing man. Do this thing and I will let you live. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers stay here in prison and the rest of you go carry grain back to feed your hungry families. Then bring your youngest brother back here to me." Jacob's sons spoke little as they traveled back toward Canaan. Just before nightfall, they made camp. One of the brothers, preparing to feed his donkey, opened his grain sack. "The money I paid for the grain has been put back here in my sack," he said. When the brothers reached Canaan, they told their father about the whole frightening experience. Jacob's family was hungry again. "Go buy grain." But father, we can't go without Benjamin." Jacob took a long time to change his mind, but finally he let Benjamin go. Joseph was so happy to see his brothers again, especially Benjamin. But he wanted to know if the older brothers were nicer than they had been. Did they hate Benjamin the same way they used to hate him? Joseph decided to test them. He hid his special cup in one of Benjamin's sacks. "Stop!" called the guards as the brothers were leaving town. "You stole the cup of the man in charge." "We did not," said the brothers. "Whoever stole the cup will stay here and be a slave," the guard shouted. And when he looked, the guard found Joseph's special cup in the sack on Benjamin's donkey. The brothers couldn't believe it. If they didn't take Benjamin home with them, Father Jacob would die of sadness. The brothers followed the guard back to Joseph's palace. When they got back to Joseph's palace, they fell on the ground before him. "The man who stole my cup will be my slave," Joseph shouted. "The others leave." But Judah begged for Benjamin, and he asked to take his place. Joseph knew that his brothers had changed. They were not selfish and jealous anymore. Tears ran down his face. "I am your brother Joseph," he cried. The brothers could not believe what they had just been told. "Don't be worried," Joseph said. "God wanted me here in Egypt so I could keep you and your families alive during these years that food will not grow. God made me the man in charge of selling food." The brothers were still so surprised they couldn't talk. "Hurry home and get my father," Joseph ordered. "Bring him and all your families back here to Egypt. There will be 5 more years when the food will not grow. I will take care of you." Joseph hugged and kissed each of his brothers. Joseph gave his brothers wagons for the trip. He gave them new clothes and money and plenty of food. The brothers talked all the way home. Joseph is alive! Think of how Father Jacob is going to be happy. We're going to tell him. How are we going to tell him what we did to Joseph? Can you believe Joseph forgave us for what we did? God is using him to save our lives. Patiently, all 12 sons explained what had happened. Joseph watched the road. Then one day, he saw the wagons he had sent, and the donkeys, and his brothers, and his father's sheep, all coming down the road to Egypt. Joseph jumped on his chariot, and he galloped his horses up the road to meet him. When Jacob saw Joseph coming, he climbed down from the wagon. Joseph jumped down from his chariot. He ran to his father. He threw his arms around him, and he hugged him and hugged him and hugged him. Now Joseph and his father and Benjamin and his 10 older brothers would all live together happily in the land of Egypt.
Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13.
Oh.